Hey, Glenn Hamilton here from Coldwell Banker Vanguard, the Hamilton Group Realtors. Again, for Real Estate and a Drink. Just wanted to come back to you this week. We've got a special guest with a special drink, and I wanted to introduce to you Stephen Cowherd of Edge Home Finance, and he's a mortgage broker, and he's going to tell you a little bit about what a mortgage broker is and does.
Hey everyone, so a mortgage broker is basically somebody that doesn't work directly for a lender. We work more for the client. So we have 100 different lenders that we can broker to. So depending on the client and their specific needs, we can fit them to that specific lender.
So what can you do for clients that have a low credit score?
So low credit score, typically you're gonna have an FHA loan. It's possible to go USDA too. There's income limits with that. But an FHA loan, we can go down to 580 credit score. If we go down to 500 credit score, the borrower would have to put 10% down. So typically a lower credit score borrower, as little as 3.5% if their credit score is above 580.
Okay, so if a client's coming to you with cash that they can put as a decent down payment, even a low credit score is not the end of the day.
Yeah, certainly possible.
Excellent. So what about somebody that has a non-standard job, so not a W-2 employee?
Sure, so for a self-employed borrower, typically their tax returns are gonna be where we qualify them based on income. So depending on how long they've had that business, we can go off of 1 year or 2 years of tax returns. If the client, and a lot of self-employed people will write off all of their income, so we have bank statement loans for somebody like that. So typically based on their credit score, they'll need 10% down. The interest rates are typically higher because it's a non-QM product. It's not a qualified mortgage, meaning you're not using their income. You're going off deposits into their bank statements for the last 12 or 24 months.
Okay. So you were telling me a story about a client you're recently helping with a VA loan. Could you recount that?
So do a lot of VA loans. This is my first VA loan with a surviving spouse. So the veteran was disabled. He passed away. His wife didn't get remarried. There's a little bit of, there's some contingencies that have to be worked through, but she's eligible to purchase a home without a down payment due to her husband's service and being disabled and passing away. So she is a surviving spouse of him, and she's eligible for a VA loan.
And I think that's a great example of how creative mortgage brokers can get with the number of wholesalers that they deal with. They have all kinds of products that they can use in all kinds of ways. They can solve a lending issue for their clients. There's, and we've talked about 2-1 buy down loans,
Yep.
Where you can get a lower payment for the first 2 years by putting some money in closing. So, and those are something that sellers can use when they're listing their house to make their house more attractive and more affordable for clients that possibly can't do it. So, now that we've talked about this, one, if somebody wants to get in touch with Stephen, what number would they call?
So my cell phone is 954-304-2763, and our office is actually just across the street from Whitey's Fish Camp, if you know where that is in Clay County. So we're there as well.
Great. So now Stephen's going to make our drink today. What drink are you making?
Just Arnold Palmer, a little spiked Arnold Palmer. So because we've all been scorched earth the past 3 weeks, it's nice and easy to make. So let's put that there.
Yeah, I think I know the recipe, but why don't you walk us through it?
Well, there's a secret to the Arnold Palmer.
Okay, what are we pouring here?
So this is actually, I'm actually a Tito's guy, but recently I've discovered St. Augustine vodka, and it's local to Northeast Florida. So we've kind of made the switch to have St. Augustine vodka. And every good Arnold Palmer has to have 2 parts tea, 1 part lemonade.
Very cool. So, and it's always good to stay local with your business. Helps out the local economy. Helps out everybody in the area. So, this looks like it'd be refreshing on a hot day.
Yeah, I think you were mowing your lawn last week.
I was.
Could have had one of these.
I was. Well, I was ready to just down a beer. I didn't have time to mix a drink. All right, this is good. Cheers.
Appreciate it.
See you next week.